So what I'm going to do now is I have some tracing paper and I'm going to trace my design onto the tracing paper. So for this, I'm going to need my tile again because I want to draw around that. I'm going to put that carefully where I had it before, and obviously the advantage of tracing paper is I can see where it needs to go, and I'm going to draw around it. So there's my shape. And I'm going to use a 4B pencil because I want plenty of graphite on here because I'm going to want to then transfer it. So I'm going to go very carefully over where I want my lines to be. What I'm going to do now is I need to transfer it onto this side here, and this is the design that I'm going to want. So actually I'm just going to turn it over, and now you might just about be able to see the symmetrical design. Yep, that's if I don't keep knocking it. So I'm going to hold it tight, and this time I'm going to draw it here. The next step is to transfer the design onto the printing plate. So I've placed my tracing paper on top, and I'm just going to go over the design, pressing lightly. Don't worry if you very slightly feel like you've gone through your tracing paper. It is fragile and it will tear slightly, but you need to get enough of the design in that you can then go over it with your pencil to make it deeper. I'm just being really careful here to transfer each line bit by bit, so that when I take the tracing paper off, I'll be able to see where I need to push into the plate. If you've transferred your design really carefully, when you take it off, you should have something that looks like this. And then that's quite easy to go over. Now those areas where you want all of the lovely colours to come through, you just need to push them down. And all of these lines that you've drawn in need to be nice and sharp. So I'm using a sharp pencil. This is a reasonably hard one. It's a 2H, but an HB would do just as well. It needs to be sharp, but not with the point so that it will tear. When you've drawn in all your lines, you'll probably want to have some areas that you'll be able to see all the colour in, so that where we don't want the ink to go. So I've already started here to push some areas down. Now circles are quite easy because you can just, I'm going to do this one but not those, you'll see why in a moment. You can just go round and round in a circle and just sort of flatten the middle down, which is what I've just done. Larger areas, for instance, I want to make this area colourful. I tend to use lines for large areas because I need to push it down quite carefully, and if I used circles I would probably tear my safe print tile. There. Okay, I'm happy with that, and I think I'm ready to go and do the other side. So my printing plate is finished, it's here. I decided I wanted to have a few shapes that would cross the line of symmetry, and also that I just wanted to snip off the very tip so that some of that lovely yellow right in the middle of my circles shows through. So now you can see when I put this into place using the marks that I created earlier, it's going to sit like that. And then the next step is to ink up the plate, check that it's all going to work. So I will do a quick print with it first just to make sure that it works, and then start printing over my circles.